Ben just got distracted by
there was a girl in
gym wear walking past.
Very little gym wear.
Come on, babes.
She's gone. I can't see it. Okay, go. Cruising down the freeway in a hot sun.
Welcome back, guys. As promised, this week is our long-awaited Q&A video. We've been doing these videos for what, coming up to a year now?
Nearly a year, yep.
Including our entire van build and our travels, and we have yet to do a Q&A, so we've got quite a few questions to get through, so I think, we'll just get started.
Get straight into it,
Okay.
But before we start, I just want to say I hope everyone is dealing okay with the lockdown. I know it's not easy, and like personal experience, or our experience, is not easy. But yeah, hope everybody is keeping it as busy as possible and as safe and sane and safe and well.
Yeah.
First question is, great name, from someone called Ben Close. Hi Ben. And he says, hi guys, our questions are, were you both into travelling before you decided to get the Sprinter? It would also be interesting to know a bit more about yourselves before you started YouTube. For example, how you guys met and what you do and what you have done for work. You both seem very practical, and why you decided to start van life. Okay, well,
we'll get on to the work one in a bit because that's definitely our most asked question, and there are a lot of questions about what we do for work, so we'll get on to that one in a bit. Interesting to know a bit more about yourselves before you started YouTube. Oh, were you both into travelling before you decided to get the Sprinter? That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yes, we were.
Yeah. So before we, I was just reading and talking to the question. So before we bought a Sprinter, we'd actually spent near enough 2 years, wasn't it? Yeah, 2 years travelling around Asia. So we went to where did we go? Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, Thailand, Southeast Asia. Yeah. So both of us, before we got together and then now we are together, I've always enjoyed travelling and things. Yeah.
And we did it full time when we got together.
Yes. Yeah.
An interesting fact: we actually bought Sophia when we were in Bali, and we had not even seen her. We just had been keeping our eyes out for vans because we decided,
we didn't buy her in Bali.
Oh yeah.
We bought her in the UK, but we were in Bali.
Yeah, and we were messaging people, and we saw this one come up, and it just looked perfect. And your mum went to go and have a look for it.
Yeah, sent my mum to go and have a little look over.
And yeah, we put a deposit down when we were in Bali, and I remember exactly where we were, the restaurant we were in Ahmed, and so we didn't actually, as soon as we got back and landed back in the UK, I think we had like 2 days, and then we went straight to go and pick her up. So
yeah, she was ready and waiting for us.
Swift movement on that one.
Yeah, there was no gap between backpacking and van life, or starting van life.
Yeah.
Okay, so
lost train of thought, babe.
I have a little bit.
Okay, so why you decide? Ben just got distracted by
there was a girl
in gym wear walking past.
Very little gym wear.
Come on, babes.
She's gone. I can't see it. Okay, go.
Why you decided to start van life? We'd obviously both been travelling full time for about 2 years, and we just wanted to continue doing it. And I've had vans in the past. I think the first van I had, I worked this out the other day, was 2012.
Wow.
It was a little red T4. So I always knew that van life would kind of be an ultimate dream, and then we just decided to make it happen, didn't we? And we just knew that we'd want to do it, and you're really handy and into we knew we'd want to build one.
Yeah, I know I'd enjoy the experience in building a van.
Yeah, and I think it was just a natural progression from travelling in a backpack and then being like, well, we don't really want to stop travelling.
Yeah.
And we don't want to be limited by, public transport all the time and just using planes and trains and stuff. So we thought, obviously, if we have a van, we can go wherever we want. And it's just kind of like a way to continue travelling. Guy asks, did you own or rent a house before, and what happened to it and your stuff?
Okay, well,
I
had a flat in Plymouth, which I bought it, and it needed complete restoration. So myself and my dad renovated it, and then I lived in it for a bit. We met, and then decided to do our backpacking. And it was a toss-up between keeping it and renting out or selling it. So I decided to sell it. The market was right for me. It was the best thing for me to do. or made sense for me to do. Yeah, so I had a flat, sold it.
All our stuff's in a storage locker.
And all our stuff
not a
is in
very
the
big
stores.
one.
Yeah, it's amazing how much stuff we got rid of that we didn't really need,
Yeah.
but we've kept stuff which, I don't know, so where we've been travelling in places,
Like
we've picked
sentimental
up and-
bits.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
The next, we've got about 6 or 7 questions that are all about what we do for a living, what do you do on the road, what do you guys do on your laptops,
Well, should we
how
answer,
do you make a living?
Should we answer that now then?
Yeah.
Like how we live or make money on the roads, everything. We have a online e-commerce business which works alongside events such as business events, weddings, all those sort of events.
The guy also asked what are your professions, because we both worked in e-commerce, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
And both had like corporate jobs. I did content editing, and I still do a little bit of that on the road here and there for a couple of companies, so that also helps towards our income as well. And you were?
My background is business analyst or software business analyst and project manager, and I've been in aviation and retail, and well, most recently retail, and that's how we started our own little business from there, and which grew nicely, and then we could leave and do what we're doing now.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we are still working in the things that we were working in when we had a job.
Yeah.
And those contacts and that kind of experience definitely is what's allowed us. We're not just kind of doing freelance gigs, are we?
No,
With
we're
like
not.
bits here and there. Why did you choose a Sprinter? Why not a VW or a Ford? Thanks for the question, Damien. I would just say that we have a video all about, I think it's titled Why We Bought a Sprinter Van. So I'll either put that up here and in the description as well. And you can go and watch that because we go into quite a lot of detail.
There
Probably
was
a bit too much detail
loads of different
about
reasons
why we
in
chose
fact,
a Sprinter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, an engine's really good in a Sprinter.
Yeah. Chaz Stevens asks, do you use refillable gas bottles or the standard ones?
We've actually got a 11 kilo gasset refill system, so the gas bottle and everything is secured down behind our kitchen, and then it's an auto refill, so the refill pipe runs out to the side of the van, and then you just connect it up at the petrol station and then fill up with LPG.
Yeah, nice and easy.
Peter Mahoney asks, do you believe the way you did your installation has benefited to the internal warmth of the van? Plus, did it keep it cool in Portugal?
Yes, if anyone's watched our van build or the time lapse, you'll see how much time we spent doing the installation. It took forever, but it's definitely benefited. The van is so toasty, so warm. Obviously we were in Germany and Belgium and Luxembourg around November, December, and once the heater kicks in as well, this van stays so toasty and so cozy.
Yeah, it is really good.
Did it keep cool in Portugal? Yes, although we haven't really been anywhere where it is baking hot yet, so I think we've still got to test out the ventilation, haven't we?
Yeah, we've not been anywhere where it's the proper summer yet, so...
Yeah, so it was definitely kept us cool in Portugal. It didn't get too hot in here, but, you know, we've not been in 30-degree heat yet. This is a good one from Flora and the Novice Explorers. Love you guys.
Hi guys.
A question for the Q&A. If you guys could only keep one album or CD in the van for the next year, what would it be?
Mine would be the Les Miserables soundtrack.
Curveball.
Because that's my favourite musical, would you say? Yeah, musical.
Yeah.
So I would keep that, and I would continue to sing it at the top of my lungs.
It's actually a fun story about the Les Mis stuff, is that when we first started going out, we drove up to Derby from Plymouth, or you drove up, and I was really, really badly hungover, and I was, this is, you know, not one of my finest moments, had a plastic bag, and I was just, had my head in this plastic
Throwing
bag
up in it,
pretty much the whole way up. And Ben was just singing at the absolute top of his lungs the Les Mis soundtrack the whole way up.
For 3.5 hours.
It was so funny, and I was just there. I just had this like moment. I was had my head in this bag, and you were just singing the Les Mis soundtrack. It was brilliant.
What would your album or CD be then?
I think I would choose Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill, because it's got a good mix of like upbeat, awesome songs, some kind of like chill ones. I don't think I'd get bored of it very easily. Paul asks, what was your favourite Olympic Games, and are you still rowing to keep fit, Steve?
My Favourite Olympic Games was the 2012, London 2012. Was London 2012?
What was?
The Olympics.
Yeah.
Was it 2012?
Was Steve Redgrave in that one?
I can't remember.
I don't think so. Are you still rowing to keep fit?
No. We're not kayaked for ages because we'll end up killing each other. But
yeah. So we've got a couple of questions about what, if we're to build our van again, would you change anything layout design wise, and if so, what? Thanks to Life's a Sprinter and Diesel Dave. Always appreciate your comments, guys. Yeah, what things would you change or add? Shower, hot water? Layout wise, nothing. I think we love this layout. It works really well for us.
I wouldn't
add a shower.
I wouldn't add,
I'd be tempted to add hot water to our sink.
Yeah, we could.
I wouldn't mind adding hot water to the sink, but I wouldn't bother with the shower. I just love the openness of the space. More just like little things, isn't it? And like obviously we open the hatch up when we're away, and that has made such a big difference.
Yeah,
to the
that's
van.
so much more lighter and nicer.
Obviously we need to get a nice, that blackout curtain was temporary, by the way. We need to get a nice,
Yeah, that gaffer taped cut up blackout curtain from IKEA is 100% temporary.
And how often does Ben shave his head on the road?
I have an electric. Oh, it's not in here. I have an electric razor, and I try and do it every day, just to keep it short. Some days I can't be asked, and then after sort of 3 or 4 days, it needs to be shaved. So at least.
Depends how much we're going out in public.
Yeah, exactly. If we're just laying on the beach, then not as much as I should do.
Do you reckon it needs a shave?
It does need a shave now. It is a little bit dark. But yeah, I'd say probably every sort of 3 days with an electric shaver. Yeah.
Wobblebox Adventures asks, what is your ultimate driving tune on your road trip? Oh, such a good question.
Oh,
I'm gonna go.
I'll see if I can find mine. Go on.
Mine has to be Alive by Pearl Jam. That is just the ultimate going down the highway road trip epicness.
I don't know who mine is by. Cruising down the freeway in a hot, hot sun. Because that just screams to me amazing weather, driving down the highway, mountains around, and it's really upbeat, it's really fun, and plus I love it because it's from the 90s.
This is from Neil, Liz, and Barney Boo the Cockapoo.
Oh yeah.
I also love you guys. Are you both totally 100% glad you've decided to live in a van? We debate it regularly. Should we sell up and do it? Yes.
Yeah, I know. When we first came up with the idea, I was a bit like, okay.
Yeah, you're always sure. Yeah.
I was unsure, but now we've done it. Absolutely loved it. Apart from this whole virus pandemic thing, we've been doing it for. I haven't been living in it for a year, but 8 months, and we've had no problems or concerns with living in the van, sleeping, eating, our work's fine.
I love the van.
Health's really great.
It's just a really, I would say it's like the good life. It kind of, you don't end up wasting your time.
Yeah.
You're outside a lot. It's just a really nice way of living. I love living.
It does get a bit when you're stuck somewhere, like when we were in Belgium, Germany, and it was raining all the time, it was cold all the time. Van life is amazing when it's hot, sunny and gorgeous. And it is still really great when it's cold and wet, but the best times are when it's really good weather. So you can have the door open, you can lights in and everything. But
I do enjoy rainy days in the van though, they're nice and cozy. Chris Challenger asks, how do you each feel you've changed and adapted during your 5 months on the road? Physical, mental health, practical skills such as video editing, YouTubing, communicating, cooking, people, culture, etc.
Mental health and physical health, great.
Much better.
Before we left, I was carrying a little bit of weight, which I've always been trying to shift. And living in the van, being out all the time, being able to exercise, just open the door straight outside and exercise and eating healthy.
And just being more active anyway. I think naturally you're in a van, you're more active. Yeah,
and I've lost a lot of the weight I wanted to get rid of, which is great. Feel great for it. Mental health, great, no problems there.
Stuart Denge asks, what would be your long-term plans and where do you see yourselves in the future? Travelling, then settling down, or just keep travelling?
Oh, long term. That's a tough one
Just
because
keep travelling, just keep travelling. What do we do? We like to travel.
we've got a good 2-year travel plan, maybe longer,
Yeah.
from a van's perspective. But I think we would.
Long-term plans of van life.
Yeah, our current long-term plan, or definitely foreseeable future, is van life. We have toyed with the idea of like getting a boat and things like that later on, but we need
financially,
to financially
that
would be nowhere near that. So for the foreseeable future, van life is going to be our way of living.
Yeah.
Ivan Didi asks, what do you use to find out about all the cool and remote places that you visit? So we use multiple things. We use Park for Night and Camper Contact for where we're going to park up and things. And Chess also goes through, we've got a Lonely Planet book for each country we go to. You online as well, don't you? Do a lot of research. And we also use a website called Atlas Obscura, which is a brilliant website, and it has all obscure, weird and wonderful things that you wouldn't find in the Lonely Planet books necessarily. So like when we went to the Small Chapel of Bones in one of our previous videos, that wasn't in the Lonely Planet book, but it was on Atlas Obscura.
Antoinette Smith asks, are you learning anything new at the moment? Skills, hobbies to keep you occupied? I'm reconnecting with my guitar. Badly so far. Yeah, same. Literally the same. I picked up my guitar again, and I'm just getting the calluses back. So I'm learning, relearning my guitar.
What will I say I'm doing? I'm going through a load of Photoshop courses and things, just to brush up on some skills or some new skills that would be handy for.
We're also doing like yoga.
Yoga and
just keeping
some body fitness stuff as well, which has been. Is it body fitness? Body weight fitness as well, which has been really good. I think.
Tread Onwards says, living in such a small space and being together 24/7, how do you A, find your own space, and B, keep the romance / spark alive?
I think because before van life, we were obviously backpacking for 2 years, so we were living in a room, together, and got used to living in a small space. Yeah, it was.
We do find our own space. Like I'll often just like go out for a little walk. Then we'll listen to an audiobook and sit outside or something.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes it is important to have like the bed was quite a separate area to kind of outside and down here. So if we just want to kind of be apart for a little bit, I mean we don't get very far, but it's amazing. It's enough. Yeah. I think living in such a small space together, you quickly get attuned to like if one of you is kind of feeling a bit low or there's any tension, and you kind of quickly get stuff sorted. I think as well, not letting anything build up and dealing with any problems kind of straight away. And that's one of the best ways to stop anything from kind of building up. Yeah. Indie Project asks, where did you get that top from? I think you mean this one. I got this from Misguided absolutely ages ago, and I bloody love it. Polly's ask, will you ever ship your van anywhere, as in USA, etc.?
Now, this is an interesting question.
Yes.
So I was just saying we had like we got our like 2-year plan thing or longer. Yes is the short answer to it.
I don't think we should say where just yet, because obviously everything's up in the air at the minute regarding travel and but the plan is to ship the van somewhere.
Yeah, but
where?
Not to the US.
Okay, Jits into the Sunset. Hi guys. They ask, would you do van life with kids? If so, where would you go with them?
We would.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And where would we go?
I don't think we'd go anywhere in particular, as in, we'd probably just go wherever we wanted to go anyway, and then just do it with our kids as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would definitely do it with kids. Tony asks, Chesca, what are Ben's most annoying habits? And Ben's, what are Chesca's? Have we got another memory card? Because that might be a long answer.
Chess's most annoying habits. Off the top of my head, the only thing I can think of is Chess sees it as a mission to use every bit of kitchen utensil and workspace when she's cooking, and it just leaves a mess everywhere.
Because I'm a creative genius at work. I need all of the space I need. I don't know what.
I've got none.
Farting in bed. That's the most annoying. I'm just getting comfy in bed. Do you mind me saying that?
No, that's fine. Zana Saw asks, how did you learn how to edit videos and make content? Future van enthusiast here.
Just taught myself Premiere Pro. A friend of mine actually had a subscription to a website called lynda.com, which is kind of like Skillshare but a little bit more in depth, shall we say. Has a lot of kind of like graphic design stuff, video editing kind of courses that you can do. And I remember I just decided I really wanted to learn how to use Premiere Pro, and I did it on Lynda, and that was literally where I learned to edit videos, from doing it like that. And ever since then I just kind of taught myself and used YouTube videos, and it's just trial and error really, and just from practicing every week making content.
So just to clarify, I don't do any of the editing.
Yeah.
I haven't got the patience for it. So all the fantastic videos you see, down to Jess.
So Martin Farmer asks, how much did your van conversion cost?
Ooh.
We were really bad. We started to keep a spreadsheet and then we just didn't.
Yeah, it just got too much of a pain in the arse noting down all the receipts.
I would say rough ballpark figure, including the van, about 20k.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah. We spent a lot of money on obviously the van because we wanted the low mileage van, and the electrics were.
Well, the van was, shall we say, so the van cost us 12,000.
Yeah, it was 12,000. Yeah.
And then.
So probably then about 8,000 to
kit it out.
To kit it out, yeah.
Liam Wells asks, are you selling your van? Nope.
Nope.
Not anytime soon.
Nope. But AnnieTap51 asks, hey, we love following you. Thank you very much. Chesca, do you drive Sophia?
Not really, no. I do drive, and I can drive, and I'm on the insurance, and I love driving. But it's more just like a division of labour, isn't it, really?
Yeah,
because I do a lot of the filming and editing, and I also do the cooking and stuff, it's just you end up driving, and the more that you drive, the easier it is for you to drive, and then we get into our routines.
And plus, I really enjoy driving.
Ben is literally the worst passenger. He is a backseat driver. He'll spend his whole time just telling me how to drive.
So
also, you
so
just get bored.
I get bored really easily.
You get bored so easy. Even just like driving in the car, like you ended up driving my car a lot just because you just can't sit still enough in a passenger seat, so it just works out better for Ben to drive. Rigby Tony asks, how do you guys feel about product endorsements, sponsored videos, gear reviews, etc.?
Interesting. I don't mind the idea of it. We have had people reach out to us to ask if we would include certain things in our videos, but nothing that is relevant to us, would you say? No, nothing that, it just looks like we're trying to sell something when
that's not. I think as well because I love making videos, for the video's sake.
Yeah.
And I don't want to ruin a video by then breaking it up halfway through and saying this is sponsored by. At the minute, it doesn't really feel right for the channel to do a sponsored video, and gear reviews I think would feel kind of out of place.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I mean,
it's hard to do it without it kind of being commercialised, and
yeah,
because we do work on the road at the minute as well, we don't really feel like we can afford to not do that and to keep the videos kind of quite.
The videos we started the videos so that it was about us travelling, something for us to look back on, for our families to watch anything, and then all of a sudden it really took off amazingly well.
Yeah.
So putting in products and things just wouldn't really.
It doesn't really vibe, does it?
Yeah, I don't want to look back in 15 years and go, forgot this one was, we've got 2 minutes of talking about Skillshare or something like that. So yeah, for us, no, never say never. Something might work, but as it is,
generally no. Yeah. The Road 2 Spoons asks, how did you and Ben meet, and how long have you been together?
Yeah, well, Chess was my parole officer.
We met at work.
Yeah. And
we worked together for about 2 years.
So before we
got together,
our own business, we worked for a retail company in the e-commerce side. And then, you were taken by my dashing looks and amazing humour and wit.
Not your bad dancing and awful jokes.
Neither of those.
So we worked together, and we were part of a small team, and we were just really good friends for a long time, weren't we?
Yeah, and then
Which means
just
I've got to see all of his.
you got to see every side of me.
Every side of him.
So-
And we've been together now for coming up to 4 years.
4 years this September it'll be, yeah.
There we go. Send my medal in the post, please.
Um,
There was a lot of questions to get through. I hope that's given you a bit more of an insight into us. I'm sorry if we rambled as well, that we've gone through a memory card and a half already, so
yeah,
I don't know how
and
this is
half
gonna
a
come
batch
out.
as well. So not sure how this is going to look, but so I hope you
Yeah.
found it interesting.
Next week's video should be back to some sort of vlog, van life kind of video.
Some sort of normality.
Some
yeah.
sort of normality. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing well, and we shall see you next Sunday.
Stay home, stay safe.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
I don't know if I like my hair on the camera.
Oh, I really like it. It looks very nice. I love this like little
Quiff.
quiff thing. Yeah.
Why's your head so tiny?
Because it always looks tiny. Just stay like that, and then there you go.